The whole entire YouTube video is literally me talking about Coachella Weekend 1, Coachella Weekend 2, Stagecoach, I Love Life Update, getting a kitchen island, moving my couch into my room, staying in LA over summer instead of moving to Texas, making more friends in LA and going out more, 75 hard, giving me an all or nothing mindset, figuring out a balance but making progress, cutting my hair again and keeping it for summer, getting my teeth whitened on Wednesday, and then I also talk about making impulsive decisions and doing more and saying less, my focus is for this summer. It's good shit.
Little taste, Novocaine, baby, baby, Novocaine, baby, I want you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Bet you didn't expect this one. It's literally almost 7:30 p.m. right now. It's literally my birthday, actually. I have been gone the last 2 months. So much has happened. I have so many life updates to give y'all. I want to get y'all up to speed today so that moving forward, all of my YouTube content, we're on the same page, especially with how much we're going to be doing this summer because a new energy has entered the chat. And it's good, y'all. It's good. There's a few things that I need to do tonight that we should go ahead and do before we have a sit-down chat, but most of this video is going to be sit-down chat. This is all the things that I wrote down that I need to talk to y'all about. I'm so ready to just be so much more vulnerable than I have been the last moments of time and just let y'all in even more than I have before. And that's gonna take me talking to y'all. So expect a lot more. Today's video will kind of be a little preview as to all of the other videos, but the other videos will be even better. This one, we just need to get up to tempo. The only thing that I wanna make sure I do is take a shower and clean up a litlittle bit, get my apartment to square one. I've actually been doing really good this week at keeping up with keeping my apartment clean. So there's not a lot to clean, so this part will be quick. I do want to go to bed at a decent time, so we're just gonna like get right on it. Start with the cleaning. It's like a little slumber party. It's like a bag of trash, pair of shoes, my coffee from this morning, you know, stuff like that. Like nothing big at all. My bathroom, it's like my toothbrush, purse, little random things, and then I just need to really like take out the trash and wipe down my counters. So simple, easy, quick. We'll take an everything shower. I am gonna take off my eyelashes. We can redo them tomorrow. I've had these on for like almost a week now. It's just time to let my eyelashes breathe for a minute. I need to make an updated playlist video because 2 months is a long time of new music, new vibes. Like life is really awesome right now, let me just say. And I'm excited to share. Shuffle my liked songs on Spotify.
Shuffling your liked songs from Spotify.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?
Staying on top of your habits literally makes such a big difference. Even just like one day of letting things lay out can completely mess up like my routine, my apartment, how everything looks. So we're staying on top of it.
Let's take this argument back up to my place. Sex remind you I'm not violent on you day one. We had shit, yeah. It was magic, yeah. Smash and grab shit, yeah. Nasty habits take a hold when you're not here. Ain't a home when you're not here. I think grow when you're not here. I'm saying I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too boring. Nobody do.
I already know some of y'all are like, girl, is that a island in your kitchen? Yes, it is. I just got an island. Which also kind of prompts the question of, aren't you moving? Weren't you had been supposed to move to Texas? Don't worry. We just gotta take a shower and then we can talk about everything. But if I do my night routine like way earlier for bed, as early as possible, I wanna start shooting for being ready for bed by like 6 or 7 every night because I have the opportunity to, since my days are like pretty flexible and I get to like fill in my days with whatever I desire in a way. Also because of that, I need to be smarter with what I'm filling my days with. I'm doing a lot of tanning, which is okay. You know, I have the opportunity to, and I've been doing a lot of like whatever I want, but I do thrive in a routine for the most part and having balance. That's something I've struggled with for like years. I don't think I've ever had a good just balanced routine, and I'm starting to kind of get a hang of it, which we will also talk about. But I need to utilize the fact I have the opportunity to do XYZ, so I need to make the most out of my time because I have more than a lot of other people do, and it'd be more beneficial towards me and my content and just like overall the structure in my life if I care more about that. A goal of mine is to start getting ready and being ready for bed like 6, 7 if I'm not like going to do anything later on in the day, because once I get ready for bed earlier, I go to sleep earlier and then I have a better sleep schedule. But it's me like having having makeup and like procrastinating taking a shower, like the basic things that get in the way of bigger things in the end, because I'm not utilizing my time right. It's probably not the right words. Let's just do it. I'm going to use the Flutter Habit cleansing balm. I have Flutter Habit lashes on right now. As you can see, they're not just like coming off with me pulling down on them, which is a good sign because that means it's good DIY lashes and they're staying on. It's good glue. But they're just so oily because I've been tanning and wearing makeup and washing my face, and they're bothering me right now. So it's gonna feel so good having them off. I need to film an everything shower routine because I've changed up some products. I'll see y'all after the shower. Lashes are off, we're feeling good. I'm going to do a face mask and then we can start talking. This OG face mask, I've actually never used this brand before, but they sent me a bunch of stuff and I posted a video about the stuff that they sent me and everyone was like, oh my God, that brand's so good. So we're gonna try it. I'm starting with this clay mask. It's supposed to detox my face, which my skin really, really needs. I guess we can start talking. So to start off, how long? Wait, how long do I leave this on for? No instructions. Awesome. I'm gonna say like 20 minutes. It's probably pushing it. Ever since I got in a car wreck last year, which was, I actually don't even know off the top of my head, but it was like towards the end of summer, I think. I had been really silently struggling and going through it, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell in my videos for the most part, but I was not okay. I was trying really hard to be okay. It wasn't something that I wanted to talk about on social media because I didn't even know what was going on. I was just not feeling like me and I was faking a smile every day trying to get through it because that's just what I've always done and it's always worked out for me. But that lasted up until literally like probably until the beginning of April, like right before Coachella. I made the decision to move to LA amidst all of that. So it was a really impulsive decision, but also it wasn't necessarily something I felt would be a bad decision at all, and I still don't feel like it's a bad decision at all. I just don't feel like it's right for me right now, and I feel like my heart's telling me something different than it told me 6 months ago when I made that decision. But randomly out of nowhere, life just started getting better. Obviously God plays a huge role in that. Every night I would pray and I would ask for his help and guidance with what was going on and how to get past it, and to reveal to me like the things that I need to work on, the things that I need to be around, like where my path needs to go, or at least just something. I needed something to latch onto, something to know that could help me move forward because I wasn't, and I was aware of that. My best friend Matthew, he's been in a lot of my YouTube videos. He was a huge light to me. He's been a huge light to me like ever since I started feeling that way, like ever since around Texas. And whenever I was in Texas for like 6 months from October to February on and off. I wasn't seeing him as much and we weren't talking as much, but right whenever I got back from Texas, we hung out and picked up right where we left off, and things were just like even better than they were before. Like I felt even closer to Matthew than I did before. I had like missed him so much that whenever I saw him, I was like even more vulnerable around him, even more accepting, because I have a bad problem of whenever someone's like trying to offer me their like love and care, self-sabotaging. And one of the ways that I self-sabotage is putting like this wall up between me and someone else and like letting them in super close, but like just that little bit, not enough for it to be at that next level of friendship, that next level relationship. Whenever I gotten back from Texas, it just didn't feel like there needed to be a wall up, especially because I thought that I was moving to Texas. Long story short, we're hanging out more and we start going to like events together. We start going out more. I felt like I could come to him more with like my problems or ask him for advice and vice versa. We just had a very healthy friendship, healthy dynamic. We're also very independent people, so we can go a week without seeing each other every day and then pick back right up where we started or where we left off. And then we decided, let's go to Coachella weekend one together. Like, fuck it, why not? Especially because like I'm about to move. I was supposed to move March 27th. And by that time I was like, okay, let me extend my lease like one more month. I'm starting to have a little bit of fun in LA. My lease is supposed to end in a month, but I also want to go to Coachella, and like that would be good content. That would be a good time with Matthew, be a little bonding experience. Like, let's extend my lease one more month. Let's go to Coachella, and then when I get back, I'll leave. So Matthew and I like plan out our outfits. We're like talking about Coachella. We get our tickets, our Airbnb, and we go to Coachella. On the way to Coachella, I had so many signs that I felt like God was giving me, telling me to like stay longer, that like my chapter here in LA is not over over and done with. I kept seeing my street name, like the street that I lived on whenever I first, like my first apartment in LA. That was really weird because it's a very random street name. It's not a common name, a basic name, and it's literally 3 different names in one for the street. I saw that so many times, like 4 or 5 times. I kept seeing 777, hadn't seen 777 in a little bit. I mean, I see it all the time, don't get me wrong, but for example, like whenever I first started seeing 777, it was like 20 times in a day for like 3 months. It was like that again on the way to Coachella. I was seeing it everywhere. We're like in the car, I'm like making my content. My content's doing really well on the way to Coachella, like hadn't even gotten there yet. I just got this like burst of energy, burst of happiness and excitement that I didn't have before, like all of this light on the way to Coachella. And it was so weird. I was like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? I was so set on moving. I thought that I hated it in LA. I thought XYZ. It was like a 5-hour drive because there was so much traffic. But honestly, that whole entire time we were in the car, I'm like, maybe I stay over summer. Why not? You know, like I have the opportunity to make decisions like that. So why not just do it rather than being like, no, I need to leave. Like I know my family would understand because they just want what's best for me. And I don't want to like leave LA feeling like I'm leaving things behind. Like before it didn't, not that it didn't feel like I was leaving things behind. It did feel like I was leaving things behind. I would get like teary-eyed thinking about like moving and leaving because I've lived in LA for 3 years and it's been such a big part of my life. The last 3 years, there's been so many changes in my life the last 3 years. I've changed so much in the last 3 years, but there's been so much growth, maturing, adulthood. I had so many firsts in LA. I would get teary-eyed thinking about it. So it just didn't feel right, long story short. And I still want to move to Texas in the future, but I did decide on the way to Coachella weekend 1 before things even started getting really crazy, which we'll talk about. Not like really crazy, but fun. I had already decided before even getting there, like I should probably stay over summer. I hadn't felt this happy in like a really long time. And I felt like I would regret leaving LA as soon as I was going to. So I knew it was the right decision in the end. I do still want to move to Texas at some point this year, or at least I think I want to, but I am in my 20s. I'm only 21. So I'm trying to make less impulsive decisions moving forward. And that's something that I've learned from Coachella, going more with the flow, having less rules, letting myself have fun and not beating myself up for having a rest day or being on a bender or not being perfect. I felt like I put myself in a box so much when I was visiting Texas because it was right after I finished 75 Hard Challenge. I really didn't know like where or what direction to go next after finishing 75 Hard. And so I was always trying to achieve perfection and I kept failing. And so then I beat myself up for it and it became this toxic cycle because I'm never going to be perfect. Therefore, it's not a realistic goal to set for myself. And I have learned that now. Same thing with like announcing stuff too. Sometimes I make impulsive decisions. For example, I have literally cut my hair. Honestly, no. I think last video I posted I did have long hair. I cut my hair another time in between the video that I just posted 2 months ago on YouTube, my most recent one before this video, and now. I had cut my hair short. I loved it, but then I still wanted to get my extensions back in, and I already had an appointment set to get my extensions back in. That's why I cut my hair, because I was like, I'm getting them back in anyways, so we might as well like cut it and see how I look and like have fun with it for a few days before I get my extensions. And then I got my extensions put back in, and I loved the extensions for like a few weeks, and then after that few weeks I was like, no, I think the short hair was the right decision, so I cut my hair again. And I cut my hair again like a week ago, so now it's here to stay, and now I am really, really loving it. I'm even thinking about going like an inch or two shorter because it is kind of at an awkward length, though it looks really good still, but I feel like it would be even better if I just did it like a tiny bit shorter. Anyways, I'm on my going with the flow mentality right now, and it's been really healthy for me. Even if I'm not doing XYZ that I did before, or people miss the old Reagan, like I am genuinely happy in all aspects for the first time in a really, really long time. Don't get me wrong, I still have things that I want to work on and change and goals set and things to work towards. I'm just not going to have this all or nothing mindset. It's very toxic, and your 20s is about going with the flow. I was missing out on so many things, and I need to explain what happened during Coachella. I learned so much just by like having fun and telling myself no rules, this is vacation, like do what you want when you want, fuck what anyone has to say, and see it out. And I saw it out, and hell yeah. Coachella also like literally transformed my content and reminded me of my passion for content creating. Matthew and I, we drive to Coachella. Keep in mind, I'm real-time vlogging this whole entire thing. Like if you go on my spam account on TikTok and you scroll down to, what was the first weekend? I think it was like April 11th or April 10th. It was like within that time frame, within those days. We drive up to Coachella, we're having a dandy old time in the car, we're listening to good music, we're also having really good conversation, have in and out, we're having a dandy old time. We get to our Airbnb, I accidentally leak our address. I posted a Snapchat picture of us in the car, not realizing realizing, because Matthew has a Tesla, so he has the big screen in the middle of his car and it had the address at the bottom of it. I post it, I leave it up for like 30 minutes, which is such a long time to leave it up. And then I go back and look on Snapchat, I look at the story replies, and there's like hundreds of story replies being like, girl, you just leaked your address. Right when we get to the Airbnb, we like film a little tour of our Airbnb, and then I notice it, tell Matthew, we're both freaking out. And when Matthew freaks out, I'm like, fuck, because he's usually the one that's like calming me down. Within 20 minutes of getting to the Airbnb, we got to go up to the security, because it is a gated community at least, and tell the security that I had just leaked our address and that could be a safety hazard for us. And so we coordinate something with the security guy, go back to our Airbnb. I didn't even finish packing for Coachella the night before until like 4 or 5 a.m. Woke up at 11 and then we were on the way. So I was running off a few hours of sleep. Matthew was running off a few hours of sleep, but we didn't have time to rest because there was a party on day 0 of Coachella. We got there on a Thursday. Coachella lasts Friday through Sunday. A lot of people get there the day before. That way you can get to the festival at a decent time on the day that it actually starts. Also, traffic's really crazy during Coachella because so many people are there. So it's just easier to go like the day before. At least it was for us. We immediately start getting ready. Like Matthew's on live. I'm filming a real-time vlog. We're pre-gaming. We're taking shots. We didn't think that we could get into the parties because we didn't even know that there was parties on day 0, but there was, and it ended up working out. We ended up going with Tara and my friend Sophia, and we head out to our first after party. We drink, we're talking to everyone, we're having fun, like the excitement's built up. Coachella hasn't even started yet, we're already having fun. Ended up being a great night. Then we go to an after party. After that, Tara threw an after party, so we go to her after party. After our after party, we go home, we go to sleep, we wake up, and it's day 1 of Coachella. Coachella day 1 starts. Matthew and I didn't even wake up until like, I don't even remember, 12 or 1 p.m. We're both so hungover because we drank so much the night before. This mask is like coming off, but it's okay. Is it a peel off? Let me not get into that right now. I literally had to take like a 30-minute nap and then drink while we were getting ready in order to be okay because I was so hungover. Like we start getting ready, we don't even get to the actual festival until like 5 or 6, I think, maybe 6 p.m., which was okay because the people we wanted to see didn't start until around that time anyways. Honestly, for all of the days, we didn't get there until a little bit later, which worked out perfectly. Like weekend 1 was so good. So good. Weekend 2 was good too, but weekend 1 was so good because I knew that I was going weekend 2 and Matthew ended up going weekend 2 as well, which I kind of like had a feeling was gonna happen anyways. So I knew I had a lot more flexibility weekend 1. Weekend 1's like very influencery in a way. Weekend 2 was more focused on like being present with the music and the artists. Weekend 1 was crazy. It was so go, go, go. Both weekends were so fun though, just in very different ways. And Stagecoach too. I went to Stagecoach the weekend after. We'll get there. We go to like a pre-festival thing for Celsius. They're like throwing a party before and like T-Pain was performing and all of that. We got there literally an hour before it ended, so we weren't there a very long time at all and we missed a lot of it. We wanted to get there a lot earlier, but it just didn't work out with us being so hungover. And then both Matthew and I take a little bit to get ready and we are not good when in a rush. It was fine anyways because it was just a party and it wasn't like the actual festival. We go to the party for the last hour. It's super fun. We see some people we know, say hi, take some shots, and then we go to the festival. Go straight to the bar. We're drinking it up. Like we are lit. And then it's Lil Uzi's set. That's the first one we went to. We had VIP wristbands for both weekends, so it was like pretty easy to access the bar and then like walk into GA and go in GA in the crowd. We go into the crowd for Lil Uzi. We're in the crowd and we're dancing, and we actually ended up being by a bunch of like influencers, which it's GA and we were coming from VIP, so I didn't expect to see people that I knew in the GA crowd, but I actually did literally all of the days. Like I saw all of my friends all the days in the crowd. We were like all in the same spots, even when we were in different spots, which was really cool. I will be taking the reign from here. We're in the crowd dancing at Lil Uzi's set, and we end up being right next to this group of guys. I approached one of them and then I ended up meeting another one, and from that point forward during Coachella, we kind of were just like not hanging out with him the whole time, but hanging out with them here and there, and it ended up being a really good time and it was so fun. It added to the experience in the way of they were super chill, easygoing. They were like carefree but not careless, if that makes sense, which was the perfect energy and kind of set the tone for the whole entire weekend of just going with the flow, doing what I wanted to do. So we stayed obviously for Lil Uzi's whole set. It was such a good set as well. We're all just dancing in the crowd, jumping up and down, and then we go to the bar after Lil Uzi's set, drink a few more drinks. Peso Pluma was on the main stage, which was right next to the VIP bar, like right before you enter the GA crowd. When I say that I was surprised that I saw other influencers in the GA crowd, it's only because there's so many people in the GA crowd. So it's just funny how it all worked out and being around people that I knew, because I just was not expecting that at all. Peso Pluma was the next set that we like attended to, but we didn't go to that set. We were just at the bar and we were right next to the main stage, so we heard it. I turned one of my like hate comments into just a funny joke on TikTok, but someone left a hate comment one time saying that I looked like Peso Pluma, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, I wasn't even offended by it, I just thought it was so fucking funny.
I'm at Coachella. Y'all already know, and I'm double fisting.
She's so
Vodka, tequila. Peso Pluma. Did I say that right?
yes.
Someone told me that I look like him whenever I'm not wearing makeup and it hurt my feelings, but it's kind of fun.
Wait, what? Get rid of them.
Oh,
Security.
security.
And so that ended up being an ongoing joke with the people who were watching my TikToks and staying up to date with my Coachella stuff. I actually ended up getting Peso Pluma merch like one of the last days, or actually no, it was during the second weekend because we went the second weekend too. I ended up getting Peso Pluma merch, and so now I have a t-shirt with it. On the first day, we also saw Lana Del Rey. We ended up leaving at the end of Lana Del Rey's set because we were so tired, so hungover. We're running off of a few days of no sleep at that point, and it had just started. We still had 2 days ahead of us, and of course, as we're leaving during Lana Del Rey, Billie Eilish comes out. And we didn't even know until we were already out of the festival, so we couldn't even do anything about it unless we wanted to go in. But by the time that we walked in between, we would have missed the set. So I'm really upset that we missed out on that. I was hoping that she would bring Billie Eilish out again on the second weekend, but spoiler alert, she didn't. But then again, everything works out in the way that it needs to. I'm so strong in that mentality that whatever happens, happens. Everything happens for a reason. That I hardly get set over missing out on certain things or things not working out as planned or as I wanted them to, because control what you can control, and you can't control every single little thing that happens in your life, but you can control how you react to the things that happen in your life. That's been one of the biggest things that's helped me get through getting out of that hard time that I was in and going into this new fresh season of being more carefree and less hard on myself. Basically all of Coachella, throughout all of the days, we're drinking a lot, if I'm being honest, listening to good music, seeing a lot of our friends on the first weekend. So we're at the bar, chatting up with our friends, going to sets with our friends. That is the basis of weekend one. Day 2 of weekend 1, after we get home from Lana Del Rey set, we literally immediately go to sleep. I was wearing this corset. It was so tight. I could barely breathe. The dust was already getting to me, and it had just started the whole weekend shenanigans. So the second that I took that corset off, I was like, time to go to bed. Matthew and I get ready for bed really fast, go to bed, wake up the next day. We wake up late again only because we were sleep deprived, so our body caught up on all that rest. I think we set alarms and completely missed all of the alarms that we set. Matthew and I also had this tradition on day 1 and day 2 to jump in the pool because the place that we were staying at had a pool in it. We did that on the first day as well, I forgot to mention that. But second day, we put on our bikinis right when we wake up. We jump in the pool to get ourselves woken up and ready for the day. We take some shots, we're drinking some seltzers, and then we start getting ready after we take showers. I was pumping content out, so I don't want to make this a huge segment of this video, because literally go to my TikTok and you will see everything, every single second of my experience at Coachella. And a lot of y'all honestly probably already have if you're watching this video. It was so much fun though, and it was so fun filming in real time that I'm literally now doing that for my page. I'm not doing it every single day though right now, because some of my days are repetitive, especially now that I'm trying to cultivate this routine and at least get somewhat on track with some of the goals that I do have set for going into summer. For example, I haven't filmed a lot of vlogs today because I'm editing for YouTube. I'm filming this excerpt for the video, but I'm just being super consistent with content, and I'm hoping that it bleeds into my YouTube content, because I hate the fact that I keep saying I'm gonna be consistent and it just is not working out. So I'm gonna hush on that and just let it work out the way that it needs to. Once I can get the posting down, then we'll create a schedule, but it doesn't make sense to make a schedule and then try to post according to that schedule. Day 2 was probably my favorite outfits that Matthew and I wore. Our outfits matched.
Twin bitches, twin bitches. Twin bitches hopping off a jet ski.
Twin bitches, twin Drakes, twin Glocks.
We were both wearing hoods. We didn't plan any of our outfits accordingly. We had no idea what each other was gonna wear. Like, we were so busy and quick with prepping for Coachella and getting ready and packing our suitcases that we didn't even have time to show each other what we were doing. It was all a surprise, but it worked out so perfectly. We get to the festival around the same time, like 5-6 p.m. We walk in, we get food first thing. I will say I did not have good eating habits during Coachella. There was just so much drinking, so much partying, so much quickness and running around that it should have been further on my mind, but it wasn't. wasn't. Weekend 2 headliner was Tyler, the Creator. There was also I Spy Sublime, which we ended up missing, and I was so upset about that. My dad would have loved seeing videos from that. There's also Kevin Abstract, there was Jungle, there was Dom Dalla. We missed majority of the sets on weekend 2. That was probably the day that we were running around the most, but weekend 1 has a lot more after parties than weekend 2 does. There's not really any after parties. I'm like, did we even go to any after parties on weekend 2? I don't even think we went to any after parties during weekend 2. We didn't. We literally made it to one of them during weekend 2 and then didn't end up going inside because it was so crazy. So we were focused on the after parties, knowing that the option of weekend 2 was there and that we were going to be more present because less of our friends were going to be there. It was going to be a little less hectic because it was our first Coachella together, it was our first vacation together. We wanted to be go, go, go. We wanted to make it to all of the events, etc. This is probably the day that I was the most lit. From the second we got there till afterwards. Same exact vibe for day 2, and then the after party was Neon Carnival, which is one of the big ones. I was so excited for Neon Carnival. We go to Neon Carnival. It is literally just like a whole nother concert, and it was a lot of EDM, and I love EDM, and I didn't hear a lot of EDM whenever I was at Coachella, so it was a complete different vibe. We get there, and the whole entire time we're just dancing, having a grand old time. I was like not with Matthew for the first 2 hours. He was like wandering off after peeing, and then we met back up, and after we met up, we ended up going to this like VIP bar, which we met up with our friends that we made at Lil Uzi, partied it up with them, and then I ended up leaving before Matthew left Neon Carnival. Matthew actually didn't get home until like 8 a.m. I was sleeping and I literally heard him close the door and walk in, and I was like, there's no way. He was hanging out with a group of friends though, obviously I didn't leave him alone. He didn't leave me alone. And whenever I had gotten home, I stayed up for like 2.5, 3 hours maybe. I don't really have a good perception of time. And then I passed out, and then I got a little bit more sleep than the rest of the days that day. I still didn't go to bed until like 3 or 4, and then woke up at like 8 or 9. And Matthew, since he got home in the morning, didn't really have a lot of time to like catch up on sleep. So then he took maybe a 30-minute nap, and then I debriefed my night, he debriefed his night. That's literally like the best part of sleepovers and like vacations and hanging out and like being with friends that are just like you in terms of like you like venturing off and doing side quests and like running around whenever you're in social settings, so you don't have to be attached to the hip the whole entire time. I love that shit. I live for that shit because I am, after a few shots, I want to start venturing and I want to start exploring, and he's the exact same way. So we always have so many stories to tell each other and things to catch up on after a night out. Then we wake up and it's the last day of Coachella. Honestly, probably my favorite outfit. I don't know though. I'm in between 2 and 3. I loved my first outfit, but I think 2 and 3 were just more of like my normal vibe, so I felt a little bit more comfortable in it. Also, considering it was corset, I was uncomfortable the whole entire time on the first day. Third day, we had an event to go to. I actually don't remember off the top of my head which event it was, but same routine. That day we took shots like in the shower. Like we were like, we need to go. We don't have time to play around. It's the last day. We need to get there earlier because we had been getting there so late. Took our shots, got ready really fast. We're making content the whole entire time. We get to the event. The girls at the bar ended up recognizing me and had watched my videos, so we took shots with the girls at the bar who are running the bar, the bartenders. We took like 3 or 4 shots, so we're already very lit at the event. We took Instagram pictures finally. We didn't really do good on the second day. I don't think we took any Instagram pictures on the second. Actually, Matthew did when he was with his friends at like 4 a.m. I didn't get any pictures on the second day, so I'm definitely gonna have to rewear that outfit. I think that outfit was my favorite. We stayed at the event for maybe an hour and then we leave. It was super close, so we got there really early. It was only like 20-30 minutes away, and keep in mind there's usually a lot of traffic. It usually takes like an hour and a half to get to the event, at least from where I've been staying this Coachella and last year whenever I went to Coachella. And immediately whenever we walked in, we walked to the bar, we saw all of our friends and our friends that we made during Lil Uzi, Josh and Bobby, and like literally everyone. Like everyone was perched and ready. If you get it, you get it. We had some drinks. We didn't take shots right away this time because we were already a little lit from the event that we went to. This day we had John Summit, Lil Yachty, DJ Snake, Doja Cat, Jhené Aiko. Those are like the ones that we were counting on seeing. The only ones that we did see, I saw Doja Cat in passing. We didn't see Jhené Aiko because it was at the same time that Lil Yachty was at, which kind of sucked because I'm like, those are 2 of the bigger ones. Like, why would you put them at the same time at different stages? But no worries. We went to Lil Yachty's set the first weekend, and then we went to Jhené Aiko's set the second weekend, and both vibes were great. I did see John Summit, and I really think that was about it during this one. Tim's was also performing this day, but I saw her second weekend. The very first set that we went to was Nav, and we went with Josh and Bobby, literally just like jumping up and down in the crowd. So much fun. And the whole entire time at the festival, we're just like running around, going to sets, getting some drinks. Overall, good vibe. There's really not much to debrief on because I'm like, I showed y'all so much of this on TikTok. And then we went to Tara's after party on the third day, and that kind of closed off like weekend 1 of Coachella. Like after that, we go home, we go to bed, we wake up, get some food, and it's off to the road to go home. At this point, we didn't know that Matthew was going to be going weekend 2, but everything works out how it needs to because he did end up going. We got back on Monday. I had just enough time to reset my apartment, clean all of my laundry, repack, and then head off for weekend 2 with Red Bull. So I went second weekend with Red Bull. I was working with the brand. That's why we didn't know for sure if Matthew was going, because had I known he could have came with me, he would have came with me. But this is my first time working with Red Bull, so I didn't want to push boundaries. Business mentality, like I wanted to keep that good first impression. I didn't want to try to ask them for more because they were already doing so much. I wanted to maintain that first impression with the brand because I want to continue working with them in the future. And I just wanted to overall be respectful. Second weekend, we were staying in a hotel, which was so nice. I definitely would be down to maybe do that next Coachella. And I'm definitely going to be going next Coachella, hopefully for both weekends, but definitely weekend 1. My roomie in the hotel, because it's a hotel, 2 beds, was Laura, which is actually in my management. So we got like the brand deal together. Like they were like, we want you and we want Laura to come. One thing I loved about going with Red Bull is we didn't have like a huge itinerary. The only thing that we had was a brunch on the first day. The focus was for us to have fun at the festival. It wasn't even like you need to make this content, you need to have these deliverables, because most of the time that you work with brands, you usually do have an itinerary or you have deliverables for content that you have to do no matter what, which is not a problem at all. I was already going into it knowing I'm going to be making XYZ content because I'm doing real-time vlogs. So the whole entire time in my head, I'm like, they have content every hour, something new for Instagram, for TikTok, on both my accounts. Like I knew I was going to be pumping it out already. It was nice to have like a free range of what I was going to be putting out. We had a personal driver. They picked me up because I was the furthest away, and then we picked up Laura. This was Laura and I's first like official time hanging out. The first time that we hung out was at an event within our management because we're in the same management, and it was also our first time meetings, and it was for a movie premiere. So we basically just watched a movie together. We didn't have a lot of time to like connect. This time we got really close really fast, and honestly it was really nice. I feel like I either click with someone right away or it takes a lot for me to warm up to people and be open with people and vulnerable with people, because I'm very wary about friendships and getting close and letting people in. As I mentioned earlier, I can put that wall up sometimes, and it's really hit or miss. Laura and I clicked immediately. It was like a 2.5, 3-hour drive there. We left early in the morning. We left at like 10 a.m. and we spent the whole entire night just like catching up with each other, filling each other in on our lives. We got Raising Cane's like right when we had gotten there, and then we just stayed in the hotel room, like let ourselves rest because we knew we had a long weekend ahead of us. And it was the same thing as the first weekend. No rules, no regulations, just have fun, carefree. We're on vacation. Since we were staying at the hotel, we also had a pool, and there was like a bar there was a cafe. Like it was a complete different vibe. Things were like a lot more things were provided the second weekend just by staying at the hotel and having those things included. I actually did go to the pool on the first day that we had gotten there, which is like technically day 0, but I didn't even end up getting in because there were creepy men at the pool. So I went there, a few selfies, and I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like I wanted to get in, but the vibes weren't there. So we rested, caught up some more, ordered some food, we watched a movie, and then we went to bed, and it was time for day 1. At this point, I haven't even met anyone from the Red Bull team. I actually coincidentally went down in the morning to go get something from the cafe. I wanted to get coffee and fruit before we had our brunch with Red Bull. And literally in the elevator, I met Jordan, which is, I don't even know the term for it, but she was there with Red Bull for us. What's the word? She was our point of contact. She was our point of contact. I met her in the elevator, and so we also hit it off right away. Honestly, I'm really glad that it worked out that way. I'm very off guard. I was looking so bummy and beat, but we got to have our little aha moment. And then we went to the cafe and like caught up a little bit before we were gonna have our brunch. Then I get back to the room, and it's time to go ahead and start getting ready for day 1. It still was go, go, go. It just was a lot more chill because there were less events. We just got to go straight to the festival. So we got ready, pre-gamed, took some shots, drank some Red Bulls, of course. She gave us some goodie bags with a bunch of Red Bulls in it. So those were in our mini fridge, and of course we ended up with nothing in our mini fridge because we drank them all. We met up with everyone that came with Red Bull, and we got brunch in the morning, and then we headed to the festival. And same exact thing as weekend 1. I don't have a lot to like debrief and talk about for this weekend. Matthew met up with us on the first day of the festival, and then from there on it was very easygoing. We were there more to be present and with the music this weekend because there was less going on other than the festival. The only thing that like changed this time was we went to an event on the 3rd day for PacSun, and we met up with one of the people that we met during Lil Uzi's set, and he also brought 2 of his friends, Timmy and Dylan. Literally coolest people ever. Like such a good vibe. It was so fun. We were just making content, running around the festival, like pre-gaming, living our best lives. It was really cool. I think my favorite sets that I saw weekend 2 that I didn't see weekend 1 was Tyler the Creator and Janae Aiko. Like so good, such good vibes. Tyler the Creator I think was my favorite set that I saw the whole entire festival. Janae Aiko's was really good too. Like all the songs she played I knew. I met so many people at Coachella, like so many of y'all, so many people that watched my videos. I feel like I probably met like 100 to 200 people, which was crazy and unexpected, but it was so awesome being able to like put faces for the people behind the screen, like connect to people more. That was probably one of my favorite parts too about Coachella, was was being able to meet y'all face to face and have conversation and get to know y'all better. Day 3, we got home at the festival. Honestly, at an earlier time, like 10, 11, I could be wrong, bad perception of time. And then we get ready for bed, we go to bed, wake up in the morning, and then we're out by like 9:30 a.m. And then come to find out, I was going to Stagecoach that next weekend. So same exact thing, except I didn't do my laundry this time. I was trying to focus on like some organic content here in LA before I went back and did more festival content, because I gained a lot of new followers whenever I was at Coachella, and I wanted to show a little bit more of like who I am outside of the festival content. So I really wasn't focusing on like getting things done. I didn't even pack for Stagecoach. I didn't even find out I was going to Stagecoach until 10 p.m. the night before I needed to leave. But again, everything works out how it needs to, and I'll let Pastor Reagan take the reins for this one. Catching all up to speed. I'm cooking pasta at this point. Girls gotta eat. So I'm gonna give y'all a little mini haul because only seems right. We'll do a quick overview. Sharp cheddar cheese, pasta sauce, heavy whipping cream. This is for my pasta that I'm making right now. I make 2 different type of pastas. I make vodka pasta, and then I also make like a quick throw everything in one pot pasta. Like after I boil the noodles, I literally do it all in the same thing, and it takes like 13 minutes in total. I got some green seedless grapes. I got pineapple spears and watermelon spears. I got some Woodland Rains scent boosters for laundry. Smells so good. This is my favorite scent, and it's the downy one. And then I also got this Shout stain remover because I've been getting a lot of stains recently, honestly. Peanut butter crackers, just for a quick snack throughout the day. I got this Odell clarifying shampoo and this EOS body lotion just because I heard that both of these things were good, so I'm like, let me try them. I got this Venus razor because I have a flamingo razor right now, but I honestly don't really like it that much. I've been using it for years, like probably 5 or 6 years, and it was really good whenever I was like beginner shaver. I really started shaving like my legs and my armpits and stuff when I was like going into 7th grade, so around that time, you know, when hair starts like growing. But it's just not doing it for me anymore. It's not giving me a close shave, so I'm gonna try this one. And then lastly, I got this Pull Float because I've been naturally tanning. I don't want to do any self tan, any spray tan for this summer. I want to be naturally bronzed, but I haven't had like a tan bronzed summer yet, literally since like my freshman year of high school, because I have not been out in the sun since then. I've been like so cooped up on my phone, on social media, indoors. I want to be outside this summer, and I mean that so seriously, and we will be. Y'all will see. So I got a Pull Float to help me tan a little bit better because you tan better in the water. Then these are the pens that I use whenever I journal and write in my planner, or just like write on paper in general. These are the G2 Pilot 0.77mm pens. I also got 0.7mm lead because I got these pencils that are also 0.7mm. My handwriting looks the best in 0.7mm. It just does. And then I got new planner, new moleskin planner. There's nothing like getting a new planner, like the best feeling. So I'm really excited, and I think it's just gonna give me that like extra push. Planner, my current planner that I'm using right now is just like so all over the place, and I'm kind of catching up to where I started it last year, so I'm like, it's about time. And then lastly, I got this Cozy Nights candle. This is a nostalgic candle for me because this is like the first candle that I got at my first apartment moving to LA. Not sure where I'm gonna put this yet, but I'm just gonna leave it right here for now. And then I got this coconut and honey one. I asked for the whiskey and oat, but sometimes they just mess up your order and you can't really do anything about it or be mad about it, because at the end of the day, you ordered the groceries, you didn't go get them. So you wanna get the right order every single time, go get it yourself. That's how I see it. I was meant to have this coconut and honey one, you know? Oh, my pasta's almost done cooking. Perfect timing. My stomach's gonna hate me later. I have a pretty good tolerance with like anything lactose, anything dairy, but when I use like lots of cheese, I do feel the consequences after, trust. Keeping it real with Reg. That was such a fake laugh. But I'm keeping it real. I'm like, let me bring the journal in here because we should sit in here for a while. That way I don't get cozy in bed. And that way, honestly, this is like so much better to keep up with my habits, having this island here. I actually got it from Laura. She just recently moved. Ow, 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 ow. I haven't gotten a foot cramp since like freshman year of high school running track. Ooh, that was a pop. It was a purpose pop. It needed a pop. That's why it was cramping. But this is Laura's old island, and I bought it from her because she was moving and she needed to give it off to someone, and it worked out perfectly because I needed one. I'm like, let me get into this pasta. So good. Let's take a pasta break because if I eat only a few bites right now and then continue with the story, I'm not gonna be hungry, and my body needs fuel because my body will fill up if I juke it and only eat a little bit. You know, it's like eating an appetizer and getting full off the appetizer before your dinner gets there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be so honest, and I'm never vulnerable about this topic anymore because it's a hard topic for me to be vulnerable about. This is my first meal today. Oh wait, no it's not. I had a bagel and loaded tater tots earlier, actually. It's my second meal today, which is still not much better, but I have been struggling with eating again. so I won't leave. I'm literally gonna sleep so good tonight. It's 10 p.m. right now. I wanna finish all of our chats before we like get ready for bed, brush our teeth. Stagecoach was very out of the blue and random. I got presented the opportunity on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure, but I didn't know if it was all gonna work out until I was like on the way to a party. So I didn't even pack until the morning that I was supposed to leave, and I packed within an hour, just like threw all of the fits that I didn't wear for Coachella into the suitcase and hoped for the best, and it worked out perfectly as well. Wednesday, Katie came into town, Katie Ritchie, and I hadn't met her yet, but I've like kept up with her content. She's kept up with my content, but we also didn't know like too much about each other. Like we didn't have too many conversations before. We both were just like silently like, I love you, like I love your content. And so she comes into town and I'm like, dude, like we should go get dinner. Like let's meet, let's hang out. So we do, we go to dinner. I take her to this restaurant called Isabel. It's so good. It's the restaurant that I take everyone to, like including my parents when they first visited, because it's just so yummy. The environment's cute. It's just a good time. She meets me here at the apartment. We like say our highs and then we leave, we go to dinner, and then we just chat the whole entire dinner. Instantly connected. Like it was so nice hanging out with her, and I had plans to go to a party and I didn't realize I had a +1. I actually had a +2. I didn't realize I had a plus anything. It was Tara Yummy's song release party, and so I was like, dude, you should be crazy, I should be crazy, and we should go together. Like you should come with me. And she was like, oh yeah, like I'm down, because we had clicked. Why not? Duh, gotta show her first LA party. And so we come back to my apartment after dinner. We're like tipsy at this point already. We had a few drinks at dinner. We get to my apartment and we change. We also met up with Matthew too to pregame before the party, so it was just like worlds colliding. It was such a good time. I'm like, I don't even have like words to say for it other than it was such a good time. It just made sense, and everything the last few weeks have just made sense for the first time in a really long time. It's been so refreshing. We're hanging out with everyone. Katie's meeting a lot of people for the first time as well. And then Josh ended up being in town. I made a lot of videos with Josh too for weekend one, and they were going to the same party that we were going to after. So we met up, went back to Matthew's, and then Katie had to go to her hotel because she was going to Stagecoach with Pretty Little Thing, and they had like an itinerary. They had like certain times and stuff that they had to leave, obviously, and all that. And it was already like 2:30 a.m. at this point. So she Ubers back to her hotel, and then I end up going back home as well. And that was kind of that. And then I wake up at 10 a.m., pack up my suitcase for an hour, and then I go to Stagecoach. Stagecoach is a country music festival, so like it's at the grounds that Coachella is at, but it's not Coachella. It is completely different. It's a much more chill vibe, in my opinion. Like it was not as hectic. Instead of taking shots like at Coachella, we were drinking beers. We went with Sweet Sweat and Sports Research. That was a brand that was like sponsoring us. Matthew was leaving for Europe, so Matthew couldn't come with me. Lauda had finals, so Lauda couldn't go with me. So then I literally was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like I'm gonna go alone. The house that I went with, all the people, they all had buddies or they were all in couples. They had someone and I was the only one that didn't have anyone. And so I was really nervous about being alone, because that was very different than Coachella, where I've always had a buddy. That wasn't something I had to worry about. Also, I am super outgoing and I am an extrovert, but I can also be an introvert too. And I can also have my moments where I get social anxiety or I feel really uncomfortable. And it usually is only whenever I am alone. So I started off whenever we had gotten there very nervous. I knew someone else in the house. It was Hope Schwing. And we've had like passing conversations and stuff at parties, but we hadn't really talked. But we have been mutuals for forever. She's one of my first mutuals on TikTok. Thankfully, her and I, and honestly everyone else, ended up hitting it off. We were all hanging out, having a good vibe. It was a lot more casual than Coachella, so I got to be more present. And since it was a country music festival, and I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised, 18 years of my life, and I'm super close with my family, super close with my roots. Like I'm very in touch with who I am, where I came from, and a lot of that has to do with who I am now and how I operate now. Being at a country music festival was honestly so healing and the perfect way to end off the festival shenanigans. Each day I bawled my eyes out during the sets, but for all the right reasons. The first set that we went to was Eric Church on the first day. I'm a Christian, and he started it off playing a lot of gospel songs. He was praising the Lord for like the first hour of his set, and it was so beautiful and so needed and such a touch back to reality moment. And like being there and not having a buddy, even though it was nerve-wracking in the beginning, actually ended up making perfect sense and worked out really great, because I really just got to be present in the moment. I got to like really think about my family and my home life while I was there and reflect on that and how much I miss my family. I actually ended up booking a flight in like 2 weeks to go back to Texas, so I'll definitely vlog for that, or I'll at least try to. I'm trying trying to go with the flow and not give out promises, but if I'm not doing it for here, I'm most definitely doing it for TikTok. And that's kind of like the gist of Stagecoach. It was just very wholesome in my opinion, just based on my own experience. It was great food. Oh my gosh, the food was even better than Coachella, honestly, at Stagecoach, because it was country. So they had like Texas Twinkies, pulled pork sandwiches, stuff that I grew up eating that make me feel like I'm at home. That was freaking awesome. I really didn't get wasted any of the nights, but very needed. And I'm so thankful that I ended up getting to go to Stagecoach. We saw Miranda Lambert and she played this song. I didn't even know that I knew this song until she started singing more of the chorus. I literally grew up on this song and it just pulled out such a big emotional response from me whenever I was listening to it. I was literally bawling my eyes out to it. Same thing with Springsteen, which I will also play in a second, because it was a song that my mom would play while she was cleaning when I was a kid, like kid, 10 years old kid. All the songs that I heard during that weekend were songs that my mom would play while she was cleaning or cooking dinner or while we were like having family game nights. I'm like gonna tear up talking about it right now. I'm like, let's just listen to the song. But such a good feeling getting reconnected in that way. The whole move to LA, moving back and then redeciding and still missing my family while redeciding. Also still choosing to do what's best for me right now. Just listen.
I know they say you can't go home again, but if I could touch this place, I'll feel it. Brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. Thought that maybe I could find myself.
I cannot play this any longer because I will bawl my eyes out, but such a good song, and like hearing that in that moment just triggered such an emotional response from me, still does. My mom watched the videos that I sent her because I recorded it obviously, literally responded to me and she's like, I'm bawling my eyes out watching this. Like the love I have for my family and for where I'm from. That's why I mention it so often, because it is a huge part of me. Like I am a Texas girl at heart and that will always be in me. I have so much appreciation for my parents, the way that I was raised, the lessons that I've learned from them, all of it. Ugh, I'm like gonna cry again. This is my mom and I's song. I used to ask her to play this in the car all the time when we would be coming home from dinner. Play it to this day, like ever since I was a little kid up into this day, even when I go and visit, we listen to this song at least a few times while I'm at home. Like it's an upbeat song on here, but when he was singing it, it was sad. And I knew I was gonna cry either way hearing the song because a special song to me, but hearing it in a sadder tone really did it for me too. Honestly, let's do something different right now. It's my favorite part. All I'm gonna do for skincare is literally moisturizer because I'm tired and we still have stuff to catch up on. So just put my hair in 2 braids. I'm gonna tuck it behind my ears for now just so that it doesn't bother me because I'm gonna put moisturizer on and I don't wanna make my bangs stick to my face. Let's play one more song. This is my dad and I song.
I wanna love you and hold you tight.
That's what?
'Cause you're the one I need.
Side note, I got an air purifier. I'm working with this company, but I've been testing it out obviously before I like make any videos or anything for them to make sure that I like actually like it, and I love it. I literally used it right after I got back from Stagecoach. Fuck it, why not? Try it, because my allergies were so bad. I mean, I had dust in my nose every time I'd blow my nose. My nose was both stuffed and runny at the same time. Couldn't breathe through either nostril. I was not doing okay. I was drowsy, all of the allergy symptoms. Literally after one night, allergies gone, never came back. I love it. Great investment for anyone who's looking to get an air purifier. What else do we have to talk about? I got the kitchen island. Oh, I moved my couch into my room. That was in my living room just to make it more comfy. I just really was like looking for some change. After getting back from the festivals, I was like, oh, I want to spice it up. Hence me cutting my fucking hair. New energy, weight off the shoulders, just like switch things up for the fuck of it because I can. So I moved my couch in here. Now I don't have any furniture in my living room, but I have a bunch of boxes in there, so I'm okay with having it in here for now. Eventually, I'm gonna figure out a different plan, maybe a smaller couch or just like somewhere, but right now that's my reading area and I love it. I love it. So I definitely want to continue having a couch in here, just like probably not this one. This one I'll probably move back out there, but I need to go through and unpack my boxes first because they take up so much room. There's so many boxes and like half of it's stuff I want to sell on Depop and donate anyways. So we will be figuring that out somewhat soon. I'm still figuring out balance within everything. Should I turn off my fan for now? It's kind of loud. I feel like I'm yelling. Like the difference difference is crazy. I'm still figuring out balance, but I'm making progress. I don't have it all figured out. Newsflash. Which most of y'all have already figured out by now, and I'm not probably ever going to have it all figured out. No one is. But I am doing a lot better now that I've gotten out of the all or nothing mindset, and I've kind of been going out more, been partying more. Now I just need to focus on like having a routine while doing that. Before, I was so routine based that I would beat myself up for going out, or I used to think that going out was a bad thing. So many of just like my thought processes have changed, but also like have stayed the same at the same time. Like different things have changed, different things have stayed the same, but it's all coming together. So we have made progress on the figuring out the balance. It'll be really cool in like a few months if I can make like a balanced week in my life type of thing, so y'all can really get like a full scope of it. I am keeping my hair short for summer. Me cutting my hair, it honestly just felt like such a power move. I was scared that I was gonna feel like a little boy, but I don't. I feel like a woman, and I feel mature. I feel fresh now, like in a symbolic way. It's like I just like let go of a lot of things by cutting my hair, and I'm moving on to this next new chapter. It's gonna be awesome because my hair is awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my teeth whitened on Wednesday, which today's Sunday, so in 3 days. This is really vulnerable. I'm like, anytime anyone shows an up close of their teeth, I feel like it's super vulnerable. And even me like using this angle right now, like I know I look so beat right now, but like it's real. Like I just gotta focus on that, because sometimes I'll look back at my videos like on TikTok and stuff, because I film a lot in 0.5, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I look so beat. It's like the top of my forehead. I already have a big forehead, but when I do the 0.5, I'm like, I look crazy. But I still do it because it's fun. I'm just being honest. That's what it looks like when I have 0.5 up close angled at the top of my forehead. You know, it looks crazy. Here's my teeth. Long story short, the lighting's also like dark too. I'm like, let me put a flashlight on. Here's my teeth right now. Not bad at all. Before the second weekend, I was brushing my teeth, and my permanent bottom retainer, which is like, it goes behind these teeth, but it goes in the behind so you don't see it, but it's a permanent retainer to keep my teeth straight, because I had braces for 3 years, like in middle school and high school. I had like springs, I had bands, all of the whole shebang. I actually had a top retainer too that you like click in. I need to get Invisalign because my teeth are looking great and straight. No pun intended. Or pun. It was like a play on words. It was more of a play on words. Hopefully they don't move because I don't have my top retainer. I lost it like out of nowhere. I was so good at it like all through high school, and then whenever I moved to LA, one of the random days, I think it was like while I was living in a content house, I just didn't have it one day and never found it again. I need to get Invisalign just to at least keep them like where they're at right now. Or something, I don't know. There's this dentist that I worked with 2 years ago in 2022 to get my teeth whitened. I've gotten my teeth whitened 2 times before. The first time that I did it was right after I got my braces off, because I had braces and like I had some staining, and so I got them whitened. And then throughout high school and stuff, I mean, just a lot of time passed by. So between like, I graduated in 2020, I'm 21 right now. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Like my freshman year of high school, which was like, what, like 5 years ago? 6, whoa, more than that, 6 or 7 years ago. I got it whitened, and since then, in 2022, I got them whitened again, but right after getting them whitened, like within the same year of 2022, going into 2023, was really depressed. And I'll be honest, there were some days where I didn't brush my teeth. I was really going through. There was also, keep in mind too, at the same time, I was also like not eating those days. I was also literally laying in bed from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. Like if you've ever been depressed or had a moment like that, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to further explain it, try to make it better, because it is what it is. I was going through a really rough time, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and I didn't love myself, and that's that. Drinking a lot of coffee, and ended up staining my teeth again. And like, even though my teeth look great, I can tell because it's my teeth. These teeth right here, these 2 right here, they're a little stained, a little bit. And it makes me so insecure. If you've ever noticed in any of my videos, I do this, or I put my hand over my mouth, or I'm like, ha ha, or I'm like, ha ha ha. That's what I do. I don't even like do a full cover. It's like, ha ha ha. It's because of that, because I'm so self-conscious of it. I notice it, even if other people don't notice it. That is literally why I put my hand up to my mouth in my videos. That's why I like, like when I'm having conversations with people, I will like laugh or I'll smile. I'll immediately think of those 2 teeth. It might not be as noticeable to other people. It's super noticeable to me, so I'm like, fuck it, let's just get it done again. I'm nervous to get it done because it hurts like a bitch, if I'm being honest. It's not painful getting it done, but it makes your teeth so sensitive, and I already have sensitive teeth. So this will hopefully be the last time that I do it, because obviously now I take care of my teeth a lot more, that I love myself a lot more, and am in a better spot than I was whenever I first got it done. Why am I holding the flashlight? But I'm really excited because the results that I got that first time were really, really good. So I'm hopeful that the results will be really good as well. But my teeth are going to be so sensitive to the point that even talking how I'm talking right now, my teeth would like ache. Just something about a toothache hurts so damn bad. So I'm nervous about it, but it'll be good and it'll be worth it in the end. And then there's one more thing that I want to talk about before we end off this video. Right now it's 10:55 too, for time reference. The last thing that I want to talk about to end off this video. It's getting late. It's literally 11:47. I'm not gonna lie, I just sat on my phone for a little bit. So I had to do a little catch up, you know? I regret it, as I always do. Another thing that I did during Coachella was drink soda after saying that I quit sodas, because I did quit sodas. I also have been drinking energy drinks, and I said that I was quitting energy drinks. This is not me explaining myself by any means, because that's another thing that I said that I'm going to stop doing, is feeling like I have to explain every little thing. Because a lot of people just like take things weird on social media. Yeah, like they turn it into this like really negative thing when it's not usually that deep. People make it deep and make it this big thing that it's just not. But while I was at Coachella, I told myself no rules, no regulations. Like literally the very first thing that I did weekend 2, day 1, well, day 0 technically, because we got there the day before with Laura, was we went to Raising Cane's, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a Dr. Pepper. I haven't had a soda in months, and 4 or 5 months. After drinking them every day, and like I still don't drink them every day, but if I want to have the damn soda, I'm gonna have the damn soda. If I want to drink an energy drink, which I have been drinking energy drinks, but if I want to drink an energy drink, I'm going to drink an energy drink. Like sometimes I make impulsive decisions because I'm a regular human, and in that moment I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, and then time passes and moving forward. It's not about like not sticking to goals, it's more so about, I was so hard on myself when I made those decisions, when I said I wanted to do those things, quit energy drinks, quit sodas. I don't need to quit energy drinks. I don't need to quit sodas. Those things aren't healthy for me. A better alternative that's going to actually last is just limit my intake on them. Don't just do it all the time to do it all the time. Like for example, I didn't have an energy drink today. Oh, and coffee too. I've been drinking coffee too. For example, I didn't drink an energy drink today. I had one yesterday. Sometimes that's like the little things that keep me together. Like having that energy drink while I'm working out at the gym. Sometimes that is the thing that gets me through my day. The whole like going with the flow mentality that I'm tapping into, I'm taking so seriously, and I'm going with the flow. So some of the things that I said when I wasn't going with the flow, some of the things that I said when I was really hard on myself and in that all or nothing mindset, it's going to change because I'm human and I'm allowing myself to be human for once, instead of being like, no, I'm a robot and I have to be perfect and everything has to be perfect because it's on social media and because this person might say that or this person might say this or think this or whatever. Like, no. If I want to have the damn soda, I'm gonna have the damn soda. Honestly, my energy moving forward is I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want, and I'm not gonna explain it all the time. It's because it's really never that deep. What I wrote in here to say is choices are allowed to change with time, and holding myself to the same standards that a past version of myself set is unrealistic as I navigate my 20s. Navigating my life, I'm navigating what I want to do. Maybe in 3 months I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna quit sodas. I probably won't say it in that format. You never know. Opinions and decisions, they're constantly changing. I was vegan at one point in like 2021. I went vegan. I'm not vegan anymore. Like shit like that just changes. You know, it's fun to like try new things and to test my discipline, but that doesn't mean that it has to be a forever thing. So for whoever who needs to hear that as well, don't be hard on yourself. Like, you're human. You're not a robot. You're allowed to change your decisions, change your mind. You're allowed to feel one way and then even the next day feel another way. And then another thing that I wrote down is doing more and saying less is my focus for this summer, which it really is. Same thing with what I just said. Sometimes, for example, we'll use YouTube for example because this is a good one. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna be really consistent, like I'm back, da 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 da, and then I post like 3 videos in a week and then I'm gone for 2 months. which is what I just did. I'm not gonna say that anymore. I will figure out a schedule when the time comes, but my focus right now is just doing. Saying less of, I'm going to do this, I wanna do that, XYZ, XYZ. I'm gonna be hopeful still, and I'm still gonna try to hold myself to that standard, but by me not outwardly saying I'm gonna have 3 videos up this week, for example, then other people can't hold me to that standard. And not even just that, but it's like getting y'all's hopes up too, which I don't like, and it's not fair to y'all. It's also not fair to say stuff like that out of impulse. It's obviously not on purpose, but this is me just checking myself and being like, girl, just do it. Stop saying you're gonna do it, just do it. And then when you do it, then like it's already done, you know? But let me get the schedule and stuff all figured out and be consistent before I say I'm gonna figure it out. I also, last thing that I wrote, same rules for content in relation to doing more, reading less hate, and not getting others' hopes up when I announce things out of impulse/excitement. Because it really isn't even out of impulse, it's just out of excitement. It's like being on FaceTime with your friend and being like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I view these YouTube videos and all of my content in general as like a FaceTime call, as I'm on a call with my friends. Like, y'all are a really, really, really big part of my life, not just because y'all are paying my bills. Technically that is true because I do social media for a living, but more so like I actually enjoy what I do. This is my passion. I have done social media even before I like blew up on social media. Since I was a little kid, this is like all I know. It is genuinely just coming out of excitement whenever I do that because I'm like excited to tell my friends, you know? Same way with like the way that I interact with y'all in the comment sections and the way I call y'all by y'all's first names. It's not me trying to like purposely build a parasocial relationship with viewers or anyone who's watching. It's respect in my point of view. The people that are watching me and tuning in with my content and supporting me and commenting and showing love, like they deserve to be called by their name. Like that's just like respect. They deserve to be interacted with and not on the short end of the stick because y'all are a huge part of my life. So it's coming out of love. It's not coming out of this, like I have hidden secret motives, ever. It's just how I feel like it should be. And that's why I do it, because I do care, loud and proud. On top of that though, I do interact a lot in the comment sections. It's something I am working on right now. And keep in mind when I say this, I'm not saying this so people can hold me to a standard to do this. I'm just outwardly saying I definitely will within the next few videos, whether on here or on TikTok, write down like my goals, little things that I want to do that are achievable and realistic for during summer, going into summer, whether it be I want to take a pottery class because I do, or I want to take a dance class, which is so out of my comfort zone, but I would love to do it and I've wanted to do it for so long because I feel so awkward whenever I dance. Y'all know I love music. I don't even have to further explain that. Like all of the little things down to like actual activities I want to do to little things that I want to work on. One of the things that will definitely be on that list because I've already had it in a list in my head for such a long time because I do let hate get to me sometimes. Reading less hate, but the only way that I can do that is interacting a little bit less, which is why that hasn't been achieved yet, because in order to interact, I have to go through my comment sections. Not I have to, but I get to go through my comment sections and read all of these sweet, amazing comments from sweet, amazing people that are taking the time, and it is so appreciated. And I interact so that I can share a little bit of that appreciation back towards y'all. But while doing so, you just can't help but see hate comments because they will always be there. There will always be miserable people. Misery loves company. And so it's a double-edged sword. I need to figure out a way to go about it. My problem right now is whenever I'm speaking more than I'm doing, I'm chronically in my own shit. Like whether it's my DMs or my comment sections or my mentions, like I'm constantly checking, which is not a bad thing because this is literally what I do for a living. And I do enjoy talking to the sweet people, but it's not healthy to be chronically like looking at every single little comment, every single thing, because I'm gonna stumble upon hate. The more that I grow, the better that I'm doing. There's gonna be more people that are upset by that and don't want that, and they're gonna try to bring that down. So going to work on being better about interacting without like obsessing, if that makes sense. That was a really extreme way of putting it, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. That will greatly benefit not only me, but y'all and my content. And I'm really excited for putting that into motion. But that was kind of everything that I wanted to catch y'all up on. I'm sure there's more things to catch y'all up on as well, but we'll save it for the next YouTube video because that was all that I had written down. And honestly, that was really fun, just catching up with y'all. I feel like this would be a really cool idea to do like once a week, especially with like how quick things are picking up, how quick the pace is picking up in terms of like the content that I'm creating, the things that I'm doing. I'm getting myself out the house so I have more stories to tell. I feel like this would be a good series on my channel on top of the other content. Obviously easy video to make because all I'm doing is just like talking and catching y'all up, you know? Update, it's 12 a.m. I just finished filming my YouTube video. Technically I'm still filming right now, but I'm just saying like my good nights. I woke up for whatever reason at like 7 a.m. today and I went to bed at like 2. So I'm gonna sleep good. I would love to wake up early and I've been on a roll. It's kind of feeling like I'm off to a great, I don't even know, great what? Great, just great. Seems like I'm off to a great.
Alarm set for 6 a.m. Second alarm set for 6:30 a.m. Third alarm set for 7 a.m. Fourth alarm set for 5:45 a.m.
That's not me saying that's what's gonna happen, but it's me being hopeful. I'm gonna take these braids out because, I mean, honestly, I just fuck it. Because fuck it. I feel free. I feel free. Oh, it's the best part of the night. When we turn on our air purifier and our fan. Sunday kind of love. Hell yeah. On that note, time to go to bed. It's 12 a.m. It was so nice catching up with y'all, honestly. Now we're up to speed, up to tempo, and we can move forward. I'll see y'all in my next YouTube video. Love y'all.